or contemplate the aberration of continued existence. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Can you say it again? Can you say it again? Is there anything else?
Oh, we
got one.
We got one.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's already been done?
It's an old song.
It's an old song.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, are you talking animated like we're in it and we're like,
No, I see like an actual like narrative happening with like a hero.
Okay.
And there's like a main character. It's not like you guys. Maybe there's like little cameos of you guys playing in the background in your animated, but there's some narrative.
You want to direct this?
I don't know. I have this like big vision for it in my head, especially with that last
Yeah, we're going to talk after.
Yeah, we'll talk after.
That was how, when I directed my first music video, it all starts with a vision. So now, welcome to the world of directing
music.
It's
so funny. It's like I heard this song and I was like, I'm just seeing some like cartoon narrative happening with this song.
Well,
yeah.
We need to come up with more content.
Yeah.
Can we, before we get into talking about the new record, just talk about your influences? Because I hear so many different things going on, and also I feel like really smart music like this, you guys have influences in different like ends of the spectrum of things, and I'm always really interested to hear, like, I love rap, but I also love like Deer Hunter, you know, at the same time, and if like you guys have your influences, like I want to hear what they are at opposite ends of the spectrum.
We like go through phases. Too.
Totally.
Started with Stereolab / Beak, who was the drummer of Portishead, other band, now main band.
He loves when you say that, by the way.
Yeah, no, he doesn't like when you say it's a side project.
Oh,
That's why I didn't
fine.
say that.
It's his main project.
Yeah.
It's his side.
Been a band for 10 years.
But they're so good.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
Yeah, so those are the main two, and then like Talking Heads and B-52s comes up a lot. There's also a lot of bands like Broadcast. Like I never really listened to Broadcast, but people will be like, "Oh, you sound exactly like this," and I'll turn it on and be like, "Yeah, this is actually freaky. I've like never heard this before."
Yeah.
And then like now I really like house music, so it's like all over the map.
What do you like 90s house or like current house?
I love 90s
yeah,
house.
Same.
But yeah, I mean, I also feel like I kind of don't have the subgenre lingo down. So like I'm totally not sure yet,
No
but
one
it's
does.
like
I mean, if you do, like, come on, get a life.
If you know too much
like-
about house, it's like, yeah.
this is like dub house.
Acid
yeah.
house.
Yeah, acid
Yeah.
house. That's definitely one.
I like the way that sounds. Though.
I also really like chill beats that you can study, listen, sleep, eat to.
Like Spotify playlist
Yeah.
called Chill Beats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coffee
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Ooh.
Gabe, do you want to? Gabe, do you want to talk about Steely Dan?
Yeah, but I don't have a mic, so.
Okay.
Just talking
through
to
him.
Jared's love mic.
Gabe, just like let's go like yeah.
Steely Dan.
Let's just go. Yeah.
Jared, what are yours?
You know, I mean, like I have my the same thing she said. I don't listen to enough music to have that. I like to look for a lot of influence in like a lot of other mediums. It's just like I don't
love
know.
that. That's
yeah.
great.
But I don't know. It's like I get a lot of ideas just from like visual things, you know, almost like a weird synesthetic sense. You
Yeah, I
know?
love that.
I probably should listen to more music.
It's,
Yeah.
I used to record bands for a living,
Yeah.
and that was a time where I did not listen to music during my free time because it was just like my head was just occupied, with like 1,000 bands. So yeah, there's definitely a time where like silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like not a lot of music.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
I go through that too sometimes, where it's like this is actually stressing me out to listen to music right now.
Yeah.
How about this? How about are there any bands that like you love that she hates? Like any like major
many.
disagreements?
So
many.
many. There's
Okay,
so much
what are
stuff we
some
can't
major
live on.
disagreements?
REM.
Yeah, I love REM.
Metric.
Yeah, well, Emily Haynes most.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, Gary Newman we both like.
Yeah.
God, oh my God, The Cure. I liked
don't
The
really
Cure
listen
at,
to The
at the
Cure.
time. We have so many pictures up that I'm like, can we take this like photo down of a band that like I just don't care about that's in our apartment?
Oh, Jesus and Mary Chain.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a time and a
Yeah.
place for Jesus and Mary Chain in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like I don't need.
Yeah, I had this.
The whole
I
band.
had a gigantic. It's like someone I used to work with got me this like. It was like some rare Jesus and Mary Chain poster of Automatic that was like one of their their last album, and it was like above our TV for like 2 years. She was very nice about that, I have to say. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go into the next one.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? We're on a TV show.
One down, onto the next. We're running, running, one win, onto the next. They're running, running. Ah, my head sounds like. Ah, how can I tell when it's physical? Oh, when it's turning psychological here. Don't think that it's natural, practical. Don't think it's an accident. Don't think. Is this what you want? What you want? What you want? What you want? Running, running between off and on. Nothing on, nothing on. Am I high? Safer, safer am I? Don't think that it's practical, but it's not automatic. It's concise but ecstatic. So I'll do what I do and do what I do. I see that blinking light, that focus point, that revelation. My mind is blanketed in sagas and those false impressions. To overcome that choice shows no remorse and no discretion.
You guys are good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see you Saturday.
Oh yeah, next Saturday.
Oh,
Not
Saturday.
Not
Wait,
this
is it
Saturday.
next?
It's 21st.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're like, I got plans.
Right.
I got
I don't
plans.
even know what day it
Yeah,
is
I got
right
plans.
now.
It's fine. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
And okay, so you guys are playing at Zone 1, September 21st.
Correct, yeah.
For your record release.
The record is coming out.
Big deal. Let's talk about this new record. It's your second full length.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
How long did
This
it take to
is-
make?
I think this is our longest. We'd like to go.
Uh-huh.
We sat on it for a while. But,
Yeah.
I think that was good because I just think there was this process where we used to kind of feel like there was an immediacy to it and we wanted to work and get it out and sort of, and there was a little bit of judgment on bands who like sit on things for too long, just because it's not going to get any better. You know what I mean? But this one, it was cool because we kind of sat on it a little and we spent a lot of time with it. We came back to these demos a lot, and what we actually did was there was this process wherein we would make demos, right? Then we go to the studio and then we just re-record them. So it was like, so it's almost like you're working all this time and you're building this demo and the demo is getting close to where you want to be, but then you take everything away and you just re-record everything from scratch. So we had these really great demos and there was a lot of sounds from synthesizers we had at home. You know, we have a nice synth collection and there were sounds we were pulling from different places, and sometimes when you're working, like little things will happen and you're like, well, you know, it's like, I want to keep that. It's like that thing happened whether you recorded in the studio or not. So we took the demos and we just built off that. So a lot of the songs we lived in them for so long and it's there. It's like the skeleton of everything we did is there. There was no going to the studio and sort of like recreating that. You know, we went in and we took out the fake drums and put in the real drums, but sort of catered it to this thing that we were already thinking
You stayed
about.
true to those demos.
Yeah, we were just thinking about it for so long, and like, it's weird just to sort of throw away this progress you made. And I don't know if people worked like that, but it wasn't how we worked before.
Yeah,
you know?
it is new to us.
Yeah. But I think that's something cool about our older recordings because they sound like a band in a room. And there's a quality to that that's interesting. You know, I think we go back and we listen to them and I'm like, it's not like I think it's bad. It's not bad. It's just like, it's sparse. And it's cool. I think it's kind of got like...
Yeah, we were like, no production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, these are the songs. I think because I would always be afraid of, will the recordings hold up? Like, will it be the same live as it is on
Can
the
you play
record?
those songs for years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was kind of just like, you know, as a 4-piece, now we're a 5-piece, which I've been like dreaming about for years.
She has it. That's been an ongoing
It took me
issue.
so long to
Interesting.
convince
She'd
him.
She'd look at me like someone and be like, add a fifth person?
Yeah, he'd be like, oh, we can't do that because I'm doing the shaker and playing the keys and you're doing that with both of your hands. I'm like, go on.
Yeah. So how would we work this
Yeah.
out? And
How can
she'd let
this
me come
work?
to my own conclusions, which was very nice. You know? I'm a little
Yeah.
thick.
So I'm so happy to have Anna with us, our first fifth.
Yay!
Here, here.
Yay, Anna.
Yeah.
How did Anna come about? Since she can't speak for herself.
Oh yeah, true.
Tell her
You're
story
talking to my
for
love.
her.
Yeah.
Actually, we met at a show. She was living upstate and we played in Kingston.
Oh, nice.
And then I was talking to someone else, and I just remember someone coming up to me. She was like, "I love your band," and then she like walked away. And then Jared and I were looking for a place upstate to spend a month to write. Last summer.
Yeah.
And then I guess like someone had friended me on Facebook. I didn't realize that it was her. And I was like, I know this person very briefly. And then the first post that I see, it was like, I'm going to LA for a month to work on my record.
Yeah.
I need someone to sublet my place.
Yeah, so we stayed at her house for a month.
Oh.
Yeah, and Anna, by the way, herself, very accomplished. She was in a band called Quilt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you probably seen that face
I know
before.
Quilt, yeah.
You've seen that face before. Yeah, Anna's.
She's been working on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been trying to get in with you guys.
No, she's slumming it with us, but we'll take it. It's fine. Yeah, Anna's been
Yeah, new album coming out, TBD.
TBD.
On date.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Anna Solo.
So,
That's
yeah.
the name of your project. I just named it Anna Solo.
Well, we've been throwing around some names. But
That's true.
I think
That's
it's
like a lot of what we
ultimately
talk
up to
about.
what Anna does. Yeah.
And your cover's like a solo cup.
Anna's
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah, and Sharpie.
It says Anna on
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I
Anna's
end
like-
all of my suggestions too. I'm like, you're welcome.
Write it down. Write it down.
10%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go into our next one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Rex.
Rex.
Remembered as firmly defined. I know it isn't quite the same, it will never be the same. But you're angry, stupid, and morally great. Now more than ever do we seem inclined to be modest, to chase notice. And in the event that I can't live up to the ideals I prescribe, know that I'm angry and nervous and emotionally drained. Truth was missing, over body of sand, and once again, that was back in the past. It was in need of some context, process reduction. But underneath the woods, I said, lay your foundation, mistrusted. I went digging deep and slowly decoded the motive. Communication unfolded upon a retread of a reactive attraction attack. Combination of trope without a hint of any retro inspection. Listen, man, an author is bloody. We turn our faces from the horrors of theory. It's not the same. If something persists, it's gonna mean that an intention exists. And then it goes like, what is the sound? Whatever we want, the predilection to remain unbound. This is our only desire. Hey Rachel, what's up? Guys, thanks so much for coming. Thank you, BRIC. I wanna be left alone to despair to make my way to fall. I wanna be left alone to despair to make my way to fall. I wanna be left alone to despair to make my way to fall. What is the sun? Whatever all we want, the predilection to remain unbound. This is our only desire. What is the sun? Whatever we want, the predilection to remain unbound. This is our only desire. What is the sun? Whatever we want, predilection to remain unbound. This is our only desire.
We got a music video for that
Yeah, we got a
song coming
hot-
out.
Wait, tell me, because I had a vision for that song too. So tell
Okay,
me.
wait.
Tell me
I
what
want-
your vision was
Yeah,
first.
I want your vision.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a little obsessed with. Did you guys ever watch? And you guys are Jewish.
Yes.
What gave it away?
No, I just knew this. We've talked about it before.
You can't have a conversation with you without me mentioning that I'm Jewish. I don't know. Yeah. So it's fine. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
I grew up watching those Christmas movies from the 50s that were like the stop animation. They weren't
Yeah, yeah,
animated,
yeah.
but it was like
Yeah.
Snow Miser and Heat Miser, and they were like musicals.
Do
you know what I'm talking
I'm thinking
about?
of like, are you talking about like Davy and Goliath? Yeah.
Kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. But there's one of those Christmas movies with the stop. It's not claymation. They were like puppets.
Oh yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
I have no idea. I don't
The Year
know.
Without a Santa Claus, isn't it? Okay, I'm talking
yeah.
way too long. I'm
Okay,
not
so
gonna-
that's what
But
your
anyways,
vision
there's
was.
one. There's one that
Go
has
for
this
it, go.
abominable snowman in
Yeah.
it and this sick like suit.
Oh.
And it's like this huge abominable snowman, and I like have this vision of you guys on this set that it's like this Christmas set with like
This is sacrilegious.
snow. Yeah, I know. It doesn't really. There
Yeah.
can be dreidels.
You know my family
and
might be
stuff
watching this,
happening.
okay? Be dreidels and stuff happening? Oh my God.
We'll mix
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Everybody will be a part of
No, it's-
this.
Listen,
That's basically exactly what the music video
yeah,
is.
you
But
nailed
I just like
Yeah.
I see some kind of like guy in a costume,
Could it be
like
Gabe?
dancing around behind you.
Okay, close. You're
During this
actually
entire-
pretty close.
Okay.
We got like a puppet,
Oh, there's a puppet in it.
and who was just like bothering us like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
That's
drums.
That's along the
keys.
same
Yeah.
lines of what I'm imagining this big person like dancing and kind of like bothering you,
Yeah.
bumping into you.
It's
Yeah.
that, but tiny.
Yeah.
and it's funny because we're doing an in-studio performance, and it's the concept is like
It's an
those-
in-studio
like those
performance.
90s in-studio performances. Like, do you remember The Word?
Yes.
Okay, so we took it off of like The Word. We wanted to make it like that, and it's a live thing, and then it has puppets.
Just a single puppet. But
Yeah, a single puppet.
But can
A
this
puppet
be
who is single.
integrated into your record release show?
Oh, that's so smart.
We can get
Can
that-
you guys get some puppets in your record release show?
We
People
need to
with
call
like,
the puppeteer.
but people with
Next
like
step.
black turtlenecks
Oh,
yeah,
and they're just like
exactly.
with the puppet hands,
Exactly.
like who are doing the like.
yeah.
things.
Oh my God, that's a really good idea.
I gotta make a phone call.
You're
You're
welcome.
like you see like the
You're
ears turning, I'm
welcome,
like,
darling.
how
Here,
can I
that's
make
why
this
I'm
happen?
here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
No, that's pretty good. It was in a really.
Yeah.
It was on one of the hottest days of the
Right,
year.
right.
It was a heat wave, and we somehow got a whole bunch of people to come out
It was
to a
amazing,
warehouse
yeah.
that we were
Yeah.
shooting in with no fans. We actually almost dropped $500 on fans because we were like,
So it's
this is going to be.
insufferable.
And it didn't matter because they wanted to use fog, and it would go on the disco ball, which would reflect, so we couldn't, if the fans were on, and yeah,
And
everyone
move
was
it,
just like
yeah.
a sweaty mess. And
Yeah.
Jared and I were like, I'm so sorry. And like, we brought like a whole bunch of booze and a whole bunch of food, and everyone was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
we put
and
free
we're
booze
just like,
out.
you're trapped in a hot box
Yeah.
with just like loud sounds, and
Yeah.
like you can't leave.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
every show I go to.
Yeah, I'm saying
That's why I don't go shows.
Sure.
you put out free booze, no one's gonna be disappointed.
Except for the free part, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of people were very generous with their time with that thing.
Yeah,
it was really
and
cool.
then we were like done shooting, and everyone was just like, "You're done?"
Yeah,
can
everyone wanted to keep
hang.
going. We're like, okay, go.
Yeah, we were like, "Please leave."
It turned into a party. Yeah, it was fun.
What was the best music video you guys have shot? What's your favorite one you have?
Oof.
What's your favorite?
My favorite one we shot.
Actually, Gabe. But sorry, you just sat down. What's your favorite?
I was gonna say that one. That one was just like us having a big sweaty warehouse. Sorry. Hello, Jared's neck. Yeah, that one was just us having like a big sweaty warehouse party. Once I realized that we weren't gonna all die of heat stroke, I had an excellent time at the Fiji one.
Should I get a little closer?
No, would you like to perform like this actually?
My knee is
Wow.
yeah.
What
It
does
was great.
Jared smell
They're
like
close.
today?
Oh, to Jerry.
Hey, only my best friends call me Jerry, and Gabe's my best friend.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go into my favorite song that's called Triple, parentheses, not a typo, there's 3 P's, close parentheses.
Yeah.
Genius title for a
Yeah,
song.
yeah. Thank you, BRIC staff, for clarifying the fact that it has 3 P's and it's not a typo.
I
Yeah.
wrote that.
Guys,
Oh, you
this
did?
has to be the real full name of this
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
Can you please
amazing.
redo that album art
Well,
Oh
you
my
know.
God,
and
that's
rename the
so
song?
Yeah.
good.
Let me see if we can recall.
So many
everything.
ideas
Yeah.
from this conversation.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're my
You have to watch
inspiration.
it over and over and over
Yeah.
again on the internet till you
I don't even need to
die.
take notes.
Yeah.
I can just go on youtube.com/brick.
What is it? YouTube.com/. Yeah.
.com.net.
So should we play this?
Not a typo, 3 P's.
Not a typo song.
Close parentheses.
Okay, just waiting to hear some keys.
Oh yeah.
One second now.
All the sounds at once.
them from my barrier. I can identify. Can't you identify? The severance marks me selfish. Keep my brain fall as consequence. The severance renders me unusual. You are just like one of us, only through waiting can you define ripping the pieces of as a part of as a distraction.
Guys, hear that new thing the kids are saying?
Lit.
It slaps.
Oh,
yeah.
or it's a bop.
Oh,
Do you know about that one?
God.
It's a bop, dude.
I haven't heard that one.
Really?
That's because Jared just decided he was going to start saying it.
That's not true. I wish I could claim
Jared's
credit.
psyching everyone out.
I
He's
wish I could
starting
claim.
to
I
tell
wish I
people
could claim
that.
claim credit for that.
I'm into that idea. I'm
Yeah.
into us just all making up things and be like, I made it in here.
Yeah.
It's like the new.
I was
Making
like,
other
man, I'm not
people
stupidly
feel,
out of touch. Really? No.
Making other people feel bad for
Yes.
not knowing it.
Laugh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Yeah. Well, I am glad
That's my
that it
band
slaps. Actually, we knew a band called Yeesh.
Oh yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeesh
Like
slaps.
that. And now they're something else like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, of course, or something.
I really like yikes.
Yeah. Actually, we say yikes a lot.
Yeah. We have a couple different takes on yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I really like yowza. That's like a good old school Brooklyn.
are you thinking
Yowza.
about are you thinking about Awooga?
Oh, Auga?
Awooga has made it back
Yeah.
to our group.
Yeah.
Let's just start like watching movies from the 40s and
Yeah.
like take
Yeah.
all those and like recycle them back.
It's in comics a lot.
Oh
Ooga?
yeah.
No, just like
sound effect
it's
when
like
you read-
splork.
Yeah.
Isn't that onomatopoeia?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
different.
good band name too.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get into this. Every show I'm hosting, I start to get into fake band names. It's like a pastime of mine.
Fake
I really
band
like
names?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Rachel goes home to her apartment, writes down all like 35 that she
Studying.
thought of today
Yeah.
of just like the long list that goes like down the hallway down the stairs.
I have to do. It's got to be like an Instagram account or something.
Actually, that's not
Well,
a
you know
bad
about the
idea.
legendary band name thread?
What?
Band
Oh
name thread.
yeah.
There's
Band name
one.
Was
Well,
that
there
on
was a le-
Facebook?
Of course.
No, it was a legendary email chain that went through DIY, and it was just an unending.
Was that a Jordan Michael?
It was a Jordan
thing?
Michael Kunal kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the idea was it just was people just sending each other large lists of band names, and the only rule for band name thread is the only way off band name thread is death.
Oh
So,
God, that sounds
yeah.
terrible.
So you never actually get off band name thread. But then I think it died. It died.
It died.
It had to die so that others may live.
Could live.
Yeah.
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 That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It's like a real ordeal.
I'm glad I wasn't on that.
Yeah. Well, you have trouble with group texts.
I hate group
She gets
text
very overwhelmed by
emails.
group
I
texts.
hate group text.
Really?
Get me off of that.
Yeah.
Stop including me.
I just
had a
text
gr-
everyone unsubscribe.
Yeah. I
Even
got
though
a-
that's not a thing.
You can take yourself out.
I know.
And I know that because I do that.
Yeah.
I
I've done
have
that so many times.
Like when people are like including a group text with 50 people and they're like, it's my birthday, come out. And then every person responds and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we have to go into your Lizzo cover, Juice.
Very loose
JK.
cover.
JK.
It's an extremely loose cover of Lizzo's Juice.
Real
Oh
rework.
god.
I don't
we're
want-
not even we're not even worthy of ever trying that.
Well, I have to actually take us out before we go into your Lizzo cover.
Do it.
Okay. It's been fun, Rachel.
It's been really fun.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'll never
Yeah.
see you after this
no,
again, but
yeah.
yeah, nice seeing you on TV.
Yeah.
Not
TV?
in real life,
Yeah.
just TV life.
Is this real life?
I don't know. Okay. That will just about do it for tonight's B-side. But before we go, I'd like to give a huge thanks to Operator Music Band for doing what they do here tonight. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. Be sure to check out their second LP, Duo, set to release September 20th. You can find their tour dates at www.operatormusicband.com. And to watch this and all past episodes of B-Side, head over to youtube.com/BRIC TV and check out the podcast version at soundcloud.com/B-Side podcast. I'm Rachel Pasden, and it's been a pleasure rocking out with you Earthlings this evening. And until next time, good night.
A feeling derived from its potency. I recognize I cannot describe what is killing me. Imagining that it is of no consequence at all. In misery, a chance to transcend your reality.
I've been working with wood about 25 years, and I started with a Betty Boop, cutting the Betty Boop out and paint it, and I found out that I liked it, and I kept at it. And from there I continued and made other things like Mickey Mouses and other little, figures. I'm a retired longshoreman, and that's one thing I do is woodworking. I was born in 1928, and now I'm 89 years old. And those days we used to go to the movies. We used to pay 9 cents to see two movies for 9 cents. And a penny meant a lot. And you could go into the store and buy 1 cigarette, cost you a penny, And that's what, when we were young, when we started smoking, 17 or 16, whatever, that's where we used to go in the store and buy penny cigarettes. My father used to give us maybe 10 cents or 11 cents to buy cookies or something before we went into the movies. And if you didn't have the 9 cents to get into the movies, forget it. They showed all these little cartoons in between the movies and everything, the Mickey Mouses and the Betty Boops and so many, Popeye, and I tell you, it was very, very nice.
Beware, beware, there's a wolf in there.
Yeah, make Betty Boops, the Mickey Mouses, or whatever, whatever people ask for. Or sometimes they want their names on a piece of wood or something like that, so I make their names and, they're happy with it, and which was very nice. I enjoy it, and this is why I do it. Yeah.
Lou, you want a cup of coffee?
If you make it.
I will.
All right. That's my wife's nickname, Baby Doll. I'm all her friends. Noah has Baby Doll. And let's say you want a Betty Boop. I would get a piece of wood, get a picture, get the carbon paper, put the carbon paper down, get a picture, paste it on the carbon paper, like she don't move, and I would print the figure out, the Betty Boop. I would figure it out, take it off, cut it out. I would cut it, then I would have to burn the lines, and this way as you paint it shows. Then I paint the color, and that's how I make my Betty Boops. You come over, Louie, do me a favor, my granddaughter, we make a name, so I'll make their name, And that's a very good way to make friends. Oh yeah. See, I only got one leg. And if it snows or something, the neighbor come here and clean of course they know I can't do it no more, my wife can't do it. And we're up in age and all that, and they come, they sweep, they pick up leaves and everything else. And that's how we make friends, Oh yeah.
My name is Alfonso. I came to this country in 1997 from Campanella, Guerrero, Mexico. I was selling actually vegetables and fruits in the streets in Tlapa, Guerrero. I used to sleep in the streets in there. I decided to come here to get better opportunities. Started working as a dishwasher, with one of my best chef in, New York City, Gregory Baumel.
How are you, babe?
How are you?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
This is what I learned from
He came in, I looked at him. I said, listen, this is a really hard job. He said, I'm willing to work. I said, you're willing to work real hard? And he said, I'm willing to work real hard. And I just said, okay, go to work. And it was that simple.
Una de calamari. I'm coordinating about 25 people here. I love this place, you know. I love my people, my crew. It's a lot of time you got to spend in here, you know, working sometimes 12 hours, more than that sometimes.
He's creative. He takes control. This is the first time I didn't step foot into the kitchen for grand opening week. Usually I would have been in the kitchen 10 hours a day. I barely, you know, I'd pop my head in, everything okay, he was there, everything was fine.
I have 3 kids and I would love to spend more time with them, but this business, when you have the opportunity, you got to do it.
As a chef, you see very quickly the guys that you know are a little special.
He was looking at me, you know, I was cutting few simple things, you know, I was decorating his plates and he looking at me and he was, you like to garnish, huh? And I was like, yeah, I love it. And a day after, he bring me his book and he told me, Alfonso, this is for you. This is what you need to learn. And that's how I learned all these things that you're gonna see about carving fruit, you know. I have DACA since 2013, and it's gonna be 3 years from now, you know, and I only have another year with DACA, so I don't know what's gonna happen after. I'm a little worried for my family, for my kids especially, because they're born here, you know, they go to school here, and I think it's gonna be a big problem, you know. It becomes a big problem for not just for me, you know, for millions of people who has DACA.
I don't understand the anger that's being generated toward a lot of these people, the misinformation. These are wonderful people. I've probably been to a dozen birthdays and christenings and Christmas and in many different households. And there's 20 children running around and everybody's singing and dancing. And I always say, to me, it's what I remember my family being as a kid. And I see very little families like that outside of the Latin community.
People like me, we're not doing, you know, anything, we're not causing problems in here, you know, we're just working. I think we need an opportunity, you know, to be here and to prove that we want to be a part of this nation. I remember one time when I was in high school, this one of my good teachers, he always told us, if we want to change the world, you got to change first. We want to help people. We want to, you know, give opportunities to young kids who deserve, who wants it, you know.
Estamos aquí para ayudar a la comunidad, tanto en México como en Nueva York. Hemos dado cosas, hemos ayudado al pueblo.
I try to teach people about cuisine, you know. I want people to become chefs in the future.
Sigan trabajando, que ese es el comienzo de un gran futuro.
El primer paso fue de comprar nuestro más grande proyecto que hicimos, fue de las computadoras que donamos a la escuela secundaria técnica número 58 en la localidad de Campanella, Guerrero, para que le den uso a los niños de nuestro pueblo y así sobresalgan en la educación.
We are here, but our hearts are in Mexico too, you know, helping them, you know, and we never forget our people. I want to go to Mexico and visit my family, you know, and I can't go because I'm not a citizen here. My father doesn't know my kids. I want him to meet his grandsons, you know. That's what I really need. And you know, because I don't know for how long he's gonna be, you know, here. For my future, I wanna have my own place, my own business, you know. I don't know when, but I'm working hard for it. What I'm gonna do without this country? like everybody said, dreams come true in here, and it's real, you know. I'm living that right now.
So percussion is a percussion quartet. We've been here in Brooklyn for 14 years. Percussion to us, you can kind of see behind me that there are what we think of as percussion instruments, marimbas, drums, but we've got glass bottles, tin cans, all kinds of other stuff. For us, percussion is an idea about experimentation. It's not just a certain group of instruments. What you have in American culture goes all the way back to vaudeville, and percussion is a big part of this. Vaudeville, Foley, and comedy, things like that. Think of Looney Tunes. You have the idea of percussion as catching all of these sounds that are both considered musical in a traditional sense and also noise or sound effects. And we embrace all of that in our music.
We've played Carnegie Hall several times, Lincoln Center. We just got back from a tour in Vilnius, Lithuania, Scotland, Ireland. We played the Barbican Center in London.
Our lineage is definitely coming out of a classical music tradition. Actually, I think our music is really difficult to describe. I think I've started to describe it as experimental. We really do feel like we experiment, but it's a kind of more open term. I think all of us have experiences that are very outside of classical music.
The instrument that I play for Life is Blank is sort of derived from a set of pitches, C, D, F, G, and A. And so what I chose early on was to use 5 glockenspiel bars that you can see here, just regular glockenspiel bars off of a glockenspiel. And we all have one pipe and one wood block. So that was the instrument that I came up with. The other guys all use different instruments, but with similar pitches.
People are often familiar with groups like Stomp or Blue Man Group these days, where they're using found objects and things like that. And those things are similar to what we do. I would say maybe the biggest difference is with commissioning classical composers to write pieces for us, they're often sort of combining patterns in a little bit more complicated ways that you really have to pay attention to hear what's happening in the music. So you can hear a piece more than once, and the more times you listen to it, the more layers you might be able to perceive.
Among the instruments that we have, like marimbas and drums that people think of as percussion, sometimes we just collect sounds. A lot of the things you see here are kind of junk, garbage, rubbish. But you put them together, and there have been pieces of music going all the way back to John Cage from the 1930s and 40s that call for these instruments, that call for you to put junk together and make music out of it. And so in addition to collecting, manufactured percussion instruments, we've also been collecting junk to use in these pieces.
One of the most interesting instruments that we use is the cactus, and we haven't used it in a while, but when you put a mic on the side of a barrel cactus or a ball cactus, and pluck the spines, it sort of sounds like a thumb piano or like a bubbling brook sort of vibe. And when you run your hands over it, it's like it gets this crazy sound. So I would say that's one of the weirdest things that we play.
Everybody would talk about Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, right? The first time that ballet happened, there was a riot. And then I think it became kind of cool almost for folks in the classical scene to try to get a riot to happen, you know what I mean? We come out of this John Cage tradition where the thing he did, 1952 or whatever, he wrote that piece that has no intentional sound, and the first performance was outdoors, so the audience thought they were about to hear a piano solo, and they ended up hearing the sounds of a disgruntled audience and birds. And there's also a famous story of I think it was a performance at Carnegie Hall. It was by musicians in the Boston Symphony, I believe, and the piece was called 4 Organs, and it was a very long piece of music for 4 organists, and they played the same chord over and over, and the chord got longer and longer and longer. And there's a maraca player in the middle shaking these maracas to keep time. And the audience got more and more impatient, started making more and more sound, that the performers on stage started to count louder and louder to each other so that they could stay together. And by the end, apparently a woman was up near the stage banging a shoe on stage saying, you know, "I confess, I confess."
We did a show at a community college during their lunch hour. This is way, early on in the group. And while we were playing Steve Reich's drumming, somebody held up a sign that said, "Don't quit your day jobs." It was our day job, so that was a bit of a hard pill to swallow.
Our goal in a performance is we really think of it as a moment to be together with an audience. We try to give a space and a trust where the audience can come in and have their own personal experience.
I like to think that it's almost a choose your own adventure, that the audience is choosing what they're listening to and then creating their own experience of the piece. And that's actually totally true, I think, in all music. Especially in all classical music, a Beethoven symphony, you can absolutely do the same thing where even an uninitiated listener, somebody who hasn't studied the music or anything like that, can have a really cool experience.
Never want the audience to feel like there's one way they're supposed to feel. I feel like with contemporary music and anything that's kind of in a classical tradition, I think an audience sometimes can feel like they don't get it, or they're not in on the joke or whatever. So I think we work really hard to make a space where that's not the feeling, where the audience can have their own personal experience. And I think I think that's something that's been missing from art music sometimes.
Some 30 years ago, the Haitian presence here in the Tri-State area was relatively small, but as the community started to grow, there was a need for more media operation, for more radio. The community could not wait on Saturday in the weekend to know what's going on. So the growth of radio in the Haitian community will parallel the growth of the community itself.
Considéré comme étant la création de Trump, qui est référé à Haïti comme étant un shithole. Donc, dans nos souterrains, nous avons reporters qui sont sur place et nous promettons qu'on aborde justement tous les moments.
During the dictatorship in Haiti, many of the Haitian intellectuals left orientated. They fled into exile, and Brooklyn, Miami were the most important place where the political fighters or the political opposition to Duvalierism came in the States. Some of them used the transmission from Brooklyn to Haiti.
There is something called the transistor revolution. Revolution has always been overdue in Haiti. If there's a country that is ripe for revolution, is in Haiti, to change the way things are, to change our governance. So because we faced dictatorship for years, and we never accepted it. I mean, we did what we had to do to survive, but we never accepted it.
In 1957, the National Palace in Port-au-Prince was occupied by Dr. Francois Duvalier. 2 years ago, this medical man turned politician declared himself re-elected president, in an election for which he never proclaimed a candidacy. A situation that made necessary the organizing and training of a personal palace guard.
We're always looking for an opportunity to challenge the Duvalier regime. So people, they tune to radio to know what's going on. And it's not something you could do in the open. Some people had to go under the bed and open the radio. Because if they catch you listening to the radio and showing some interest in political views that they determine were not in the interest of the regime, I mean, you expose yourself big time. So Haitian has a particular connection with radio because also the literacy rate was so low in Haiti for a number of reasons.
The interesting thing here is the way that at that time Haitian people start to embrace Creole, because in Haiti the elite used to speak only French. Creole, it was mostly for if you are not educated, you speak Creole.
20% of Haitians speak French, when 100% of Haitians speak Creole, and everything that is written in French. Or a long time ago, even radio spoke only French. People don't understand French. It's a travesty. Imagine people go in courts. It's a life and death case. And then the judge is speaking French to them. They don't even understand what's going on. You can make this thing up. It's crazy, this French Creole stuff. And French was used as a means to keep the lower classes low.
Though Haiti was the first Latin American country to achieve independence, it is one of the world's poorest nations. Since attaining its freedom, it has suffered 130 political convulsions.
And that has been our history until things started to heat up in the country and people displayed their interest in speaking Creole. Creole was a way to affirm ourselves. We're not going to be repressed anymore. And radio was the first tool that really started to do that. We tried to do good to the community, offer them a podium where things of interest to them would be aired, be it in the cultural field, in the entertainment field, in the political field. Politics is very, very, very important to Haitians for reasons that you can understand. The political situation in Haiti has been terrible for a number of decades. Haiti is known for at least 36 coups d'etat. Coup d'etat means instability, because whenever a new regime comes, they have to destroy whatever the prior regime did. And that means a lot of investment has been wasted because they have to prove that they are right and that the one they overthrew was wrong. All this make Haitians, especially political person, his whole being is political, because he's been the target for so many years. So you try to understand the reason why Haiti is in the situation it is. The number of coups d'etat speaks eloquently about that. It's a pattern of constant destruction. So that creates a need. There's always that need, that hope. My goodness, something's going to happen. We have to put an end to that destructive cycle. So there comes the interest in radio. We need to communicate hope to the community, to suggest somehow it will change. And so they listen to the radio with that frame of mind. And that is our history. That is what keeps radio operation going in the Haitian community.
Go. Come on out. Wow, we've got all kinds of things. Geese coming back. Let's head up towards Carroll Street Bridge. All right, good morning, good morning.
It's not a better way to start the morning, you know? Get some fresh air. See the sun coming up. It really is quite a natural experience being out on the water, much more so than you would expect.
Well, I get a lot of weird looks, even though I've only been out a few times. I get a lot of weird looks from people saying like, oh, you're going in that body of water.
I've been called the poop paddler. Somebody yelled at me off the bridge one time, hey, it's the poop paddler. It's like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny actually. I like that one. Might start hashtagging that.
The club was started in 1999 when a bunch of people got together around a table and said, what can we do to raise the profile of the canal so that it actually gets the attention and starts the process towards a cleanup? Well, they had enough money that they put on the table that evening to buy one canoe, and that's how the canoe club was formed. And so they bought more canoes, and that started getting people down to the water. People started, again, as ironic as it may be, once you get people interacting in some fashion with the water, you start building a constituency that can drive that process forward.
I learned about the dredgers last fall. There were a group of people that were out racing on the canal. I was just completely blown away by that idea, that anyone would be able to go out on the canal and paddle. So immediately when I heard that, I kind of fell in love with that.
I've been caught in a thunderstorm out in Gowanus Bay. I literally had to paddle against a tide of condoms, rubber gloves, occasional pads. You're dodging anything that looks like a lump and you don't want to get too close to it. Brown trout, there's brown trout in the Gowanus.
I have loved water sports for a long time. I grew up in Colorado and have done a lot of whitewater rafting. So this is far from whitewater and wouldn't want to be as close to the water as we get in those situations, but it's a nice way to stay on a boat and stay paddling.
I started canoeing out on the canal last year, maybe a little less than a year ago. I loved it immediately. Something I miss the most from having grown up in the woods and coming here to New York is kind of having a natural experience. And while canoeing in a toxic waterway might not sound natural, there's actually a lot of amazing natural moments.
Sometimes early mornings, if we've all have a free morning, we'll get up a little bit early so that we have time before work to gather at the boathouse. First things first, we sign our waivers, get our life jackets on. We'll drag the canoes out. We'll hop on the boats and paddle away. And usually we get in, 30 minutes, an hour of paddling. Easy paddling, just exploring the different basins up and down the canal. There's actually quite a bit to see. And then eventually we'll make our way back to the docks. Hopefully the tide hasn't fallen too much in that time. Pull the boats back to the boathouse, take our life jackets off, and use the hand sanitizer. It's nice to canoe during high tide because the water is cleaner. There's just more water diluting any of the bad stuff in it. Low tide, you can see mounds of sediment sometimes, and that's actually the most polluted part of the canal. So when you see those sediment mounds, those are what you want to avoid coming into contact with. It's important for people to see that there are people using the canal, and the more people who do that, the more important it becomes to clean it up, to build more access points, to develop the culture of boating on the canal.
Storytelling you don't really hear about.
Taking some of those creative ideas and getting together with a community, which is the central core of our work.
मिट जाए बोलो सुबह शाम Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram. That's how it goes. My first memory of hearing Bollywood music was a movie called Grandmother Always Knows Best, which is a Telugu movie that I have not been able to find. And there's a flying car in it, and there's this song about the supercar that I remember. It's like supercar, supercar, supercar. So that was the first Bollywood movie I remember. My dad is Indian, which is how I was first exposed to Bollywood and to Indian music. I asked him what some of his favorite Bollywood songs were, and he pointed me more towards the 60s, 70s, Asha Bhosle and Lata Mangeshkar, and that's the stuff that I find that I actually gravitate towards more. I definitely have a preference for the older Bollywood movies and songs. I went to India with my dad when I was 19, and I hadn't seen my grandfather since I was a small kid, and he gave me a sitar because he wanted me to learn about Indian classical music in addition to Western classical music. So I studied sitar for about 8 years. I started looking for ways to incorporate both of them into what I was doing. I performed with Philip Glass at Carnegie Hall. I did Einstein on the Beach there. I toured with the Worcester Group doing a Baroque opera on and off for a few years. I've done the last 2 Anthony Braxton operas. So I fell into opera, but I still was interested in the Bollywood connection. So this is sort of bringing them all together.
I probably first came into contact with anything Bollywood just simply by hearing something on the radio, and I'm pretty sure it was Asha Bhosle. I haven't really seen that many of the movies, to be honest. You know, I've seen clips of Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, which is that one. That's the movie that's about American hippies coming into India in 1968, 69 after George Harrison's sitar playing and Ravi Shankar coming to the U.S. So they were just looking for pot, essentially.
I didn't really sing any Bollywood songs until Bombay Ricky because I didn't study classical Indian singing. I studied sitar, which is very, very different. I went to Jeff, and we had all of these other interests in common, including Bollywood, and I thought, okay, well, maybe we should do a Bollywood song. So I made an arrangement of Dam Maro Dam, which is the famous Asha Bhosle song from the R.D. Burman film Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Dam Maro Dam, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Duniya ne humko kiya kya, duniya se humne liya kya, hum sab ki parwah kare kya.
I love the traditional songwriting in Bollywood films. I think they're just absolutely astounding in terms of form, in terms of just instrumentation and orchestration. And some of the movies are pretty good too.
Essentially, we make film music for films that don't exist. And sometimes that's vague, and sometimes that isn't. Kamala has a piece, Bombay 5-0, which she imagined as a film that doesn't exist that stars Amitabh Bachchan, and it is kind of like a cops 5-0 kind of movie.
From the beginning, we knew that we wanted to write our own songs, even though the original idea was this cover project. The inspiration of Bollywood is that R.D. Burman, for example, is trying to modernize the way that Bollywood sounded by borrowing from Latin jazz. So he puts a lot of Latin rhythm into his music. We were looking to do something similar, which was to sort of take this music that had been created as a response to Western culture, but then what would it look like if people who were raised in Western culture made music that was inspired by that music? So it becomes this sort of a multi-layered thing.
I have a piece called Pondicherry Surf Goddess. which I'm not even sure that can even exist in real life, you know. Somebody surfing off the shore of Pondicherry who's a goddess, so what could she be wearing, you know? Is that even allowed over there? Well, an imaginary movie is endlessly editable. So yeah, if you need to change direction, no problem. It's not going to cost you any more money, or, you know, people are not going to get mad at you, you know. It's a good way to start a piece of music, actually.
Bombay Ricky is really centered around this idea of the globalism of the 60s and 70s.
Bollywood was early world music.
Bombay Ricky is a band that I think one of the things that we're after is playing music that is very full of life. And I think that's pretty important today, for sure. Today meaning these days, you know.
The Midget Squadron Yacht Club, it's wonderful. We're all equal partners in the place.
The name of it is Midget Squadron because most of the boats that were here were little small boats. Across the street, they were always a wealthier type club. These were working people that were here, and they only had their little boats. So they put a name on it, Midget Squadron, and it stuck. It started because of the small boats, and we grew. And that's what we got today.
I would say we're in the Canarsie Riviera. For me, this is as good as it gets.
I was born here, yeah. Canarsie was open fields. As a kid, it was a beautiful place.
I was here when the neighborhood was a wilderness. The original builder who built the neighborhood up was spot building. You know, we were like Huckleberry Finn. I was always on and in the water.
The fields became houses, and the population grew. It's an interracial neighborhood. You've got everything here. I've been a member here for 40 years. The club is in existence for approximately 110 years. It's a great club because we allow everybody. There's no point where you can't come into this club. There's no restrictions. Not only that, we have boating members. We have what's called social members. In other words, if you don't have a boat, you can still belong to this club.
We come barbecue, we have access to the place 24/7. And anytime you want to have a party, we have the catering hall. We do a lot of fishing, a lot of partying, a lot of barbecuing. It's all good.
It's different than a marina. Here you can socialize. You got your boat out there, you got all the members, you got your friends. You're allowed to bring your friends as guests to the club and enjoy the place.
We don't have to go anywhere. We have everything here. The little kept secret in Brooklyn.
The favorite part about Midget Squadron is the camaraderie. You get to meet people, you make new friends.
Very nice people. It's more like family oriented. They want you to bring your family, not just you. Bring your family too.
There's 100 of us here. You get to know 100 people. It's like a family. You know, get some good ones, you get some bad ones. Good brothers, bad brothers. But in all, it's 100%, it's good.
It's a lot of people in one place. Of course, there's differences of opinions. At the end of the day, I consider everybody, even if I argue with them, I consider them my family.
It's more family oriented. It's mostly on integrity and honesty. And everybody has to help each other. You take an oath to help your boatmate.
Any organization has to have good leadership, and they got to get along with all the members. You know, there's characters in any organization. The membership has the opportunity to elect a new Commodore.
I'm the current Commodore of the club. To draw a parallel for anybody who doesn't understand, it's like being the president of the corporation.
It's a hard job. You're dealing with a lot of personalities, and you do a lot of work.
This is a democracy. Actually, the forefathers who wrote our Constitution, we have a Constitution to the club. The forefathers who wrote this Constitution were, in my opinion, very sharp. And when I read it for the first time, I had a similar feeling as when I first read the Constitution of the United States. It was well thought out, well planned, and it made common sense from different directions at the same time. It's fun when it's good, and it's horrible when it's not. No one person can do anything. It takes a team. Anything that happens here happens because there's a team of people doing it.
I love it here. Best place in the world.
It's an oasis in Brooklyn. You know, you come through the gates, you're on vacation. It's an instant vacation.
Beautiful. Boats going back and forth, membership, talking to each other. It's a paradise.
It's beautiful. I don't want to go home. And call me, I want to stay here all day.
I'm here all the time. It's just nice.
We're a great mosaic of people at their best when they're having leisure time.
Once you open that gate and you come through the gate, it's a different world. It's beautiful.
I've been here for 40 years, and I hope I can stay here a little longer.
When I was a child, ladies and gentlemen, I was a dreamer. I read comic books and I was the hero of the comic book. I saw movies and I was the hero in the movie. So every dream that I ever dreamed has come true 100 times. I learned very early in life that without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, the road would never bend. Without a song. So I'll keep singing a song.
Come at a good time. Am I ready to sing? You get me in the mood for talking.
You want to sing or talk?
I was born in Brooklyn. I spent my entire life here in Brooklyn, and I can tell you now I will die in Brooklyn. My name is Steve Campanella, and I own this house. It's called Steve's Playland in the heart of Bensonhurst. People come by all the time. It brings back memories for them. If they have little kids, they like the kids to look at the statues. Everybody seems to be pleased with it. I've had no bad reviews as far as I'm concerned. Originally, I didn't set out to do this. This is something that happened. It just blossomed. I started getting into these statues of Hollywood personalities. I started with one, and I put it outside, and then I decided I need another. And then once I got that one, I decided I need another one. Altogether, if you go throughout the house, up and down, there's 32 statues in this house, all of which I grew up with as a kid.
We got Betty Boop over here, Marilyn Monroe with her dress going up. We have Elvis, of course. You gotta have Elvis. My few pets that I have here, in case I have intruders. And of course, Humphrey Bogart, James Dean, the guy who works at the local gas station. His name is Hans.
Why Hans?
Well, he just looks like a German guy, doesn't he? Look at him. Look at the guy.
Looks angry.
Yeah, exactly.
In 1978, I bought my first Corvette, and before you knew it, I got a second Corvette because my first Corvette was in the shop being worked on, and then eventually that one went into the shop, and then I started collecting 50s and 60s cars. So altogether, I had about 12 cars at one point in time. It was insanity. I would have a garage in Sunset Park. I would have a garage in Sheepshead Bay. I would have a garage in Bay Ridge. It's ridiculous to keep paying that amount of money. So I started looking for a place to keep all my stuff in one spot.
Here's some of the toys that are in the garage. This is a Prowler. That's a pink 59 Caddy. I forget it's there sometimes. He scares me sometimes.
I'm sorry.
I'm actually like terrified of spiders.
That was good. That was worth the whole thing today, as far as I'm concerned. If you look behind you, to your left, to your right, whether you go up or whether you go down, it doesn't matter. There's stuff all over the place. You behaving yourself over here? Huh? You awake? Clear the area. Clear the area. Stop. You're good. Oh. How about cats? Are you afraid of cats? I used to set this thing outside, and as people go by, I would talk to them. Look at his lips. His lips move. Where you going, fella? Yeah, it's me. It's me. Talk to me. Where you going? Hey, little girl, come on over and talk to me a little bit. Used to have a ball with this thing.
How does your wife feel about all the artifacts and things you have in your house?
Well, I had to hide all the sharp instruments in the house so she couldn't grab them and slit my throat in the middle of the night. How's that for an answer?
I can't stand him. Come on, say goodbye to me.
Oh, goodbye, hon. You have a lovely time, you and all your
He
girlfriends.
will not, see, look at this. Even when we are dancing, he'll turn around and be sitting, and I'll be dancing around him, you know.
Come sit here.
You should be very happy that I have allowed you to have this house with all these freaking statues.
Yes, I understand. You're the queen.
And I have to leave because my girlfriend is there and I'm going to a brunch. Have a good time, guys. Make us look good. Love you.
Thank you very much. Bye, Phil.
Thank you.
Eva, if you need me, holler. Eva, did you hear me? If you need me, holler.
I'll holler and you will come.
And I'll be there. My wife. I try to keep her out as much as I can, but she insists on coming in every once in a while. Most of the time, I'll sit down, I'll do something, I'll put on my music, whatever mood I happen to be in, and I'll just stay in here and chill out for a little while. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. These are some of my uniforms. Utility uniform, dress uniform, and winter uniform. I managed to hold on to them all these years.
And why do you think it's important to collect these things, or why do you like it so much?
I'm not saying it's important. It's just something that I enjoy. I grew up during the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and I have fond memories. I can walk into my garage now, go back in time and look at one particular thing, and that one item will immediately bring up memories in my mind as to where I was and what was I doing. I try to be as social with total strangers who come to the house. They look in the garage, they see their past the same as I did. Young kids today who come in, they'll ask me questions like, what was that? Why did you collect that? What do you do with that? What is that thing? I've never seen anything like that before. It brings me closer to some of the people that come by here and look at the house and look at the garage. And it makes me feel good in a way.
Good morning. Yeah, I was hoping not to have to call you guys, but I have a street event here today. I got no parking signs from Detective Roman. Put them all up and down the block, and you see all these cars are still here.
You spoke to Roman?
Yeah, he's the one who gave me the no parking sign.
This is not enforceable.
They're not going to enforce it.
They're not going to, or they can't?
They don't want to. It's sci-fi, DC Comics. With sci-fi goes Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Star Wars, and Star Trek. Anything with those.
That's a lot, all first?
Yeah, that's the first hour. 3 to 4, you do the DC Comics, so that's Batman and Wonder Woman.
Crayons.
There's crayons. I do have crayons.
Who is Wonder Woman? What is that, Marvel or DC?
That's DC.
And Batman is?
DC.
What about the Justice League?
Oh, Justice League, that's DC too. I'm the only one of us three that's getting in costume. This is the stuff for the mask making. We need the volunteers to get here. The tables ain't gonna get here. The tables that are going in the street, they're not gonna get here until 11:30. You here to volunteer? You're not averse to wearing costumes, right?
Hopefully our generator will show up and we can get the popcorn machine ready and the lemonade making, and as more volunteers come in, we'll be able to assign them to certain duties.
Hey, yeah, you're here to volunteer? Yeah, you guys, yeah, let's work a little faster. Let's get all of those put up on this garden. Right now, you guys can share that tape. Excuse me, are you here to volunteer? What's your name? Raymond? All right, would you be adverse to being in costume?
Wonder Woman and Catwoman, go.
You here to volunteer?
We put the bouncy castle.
The cars, exactly. We're way over budget by now. You don't have no problem getting a costume, right?
Costume?
We're gonna set these tables up in it's gonna be funny. In front of all of these cars on this side of the street. Now they stuck in here with us.
I want to at least have the popcorn machine up by 1 o'clock.
Say that again?
I want to have the popcorn machine up and running by 1 o'clock to get warm.
Oh, this is actually bad. We have to actually unhook this. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, great. Oh, now cars want to move. Let him maneuver, let him figure it out. All right, 12:19, great.
Show how to type everything. It's not that mighty, so I'm thinking maybe just plug up the popcorn machine, get it warm, make it some popcorn, unplug it.
We're gonna use these to hold doing the tent.
Who's doing face painting?
Hey, would you like to do face painting? You don't need to know anything. They got stencils. Just going to do capes at the superhero table first, lightsabers at the sci-fi.
Cut the popcorn. It's not popping, and it's just taking too long, so the decision has to be made. Should we cut the bouncy house for a little bit until, like, for a couple minutes we get the popcorn going?
Give it a shot.
5 more minutes, bang it out hard, and then we're gonna have to pull it to start the bouncy house. We'll push hard for the lemonade or iced tea sales.
Turn around, fool. Are you gonna put the helmet on already?
With an afro.
Oh, no, bro.
I gotta get in the costume. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna announce you. Who's here to see Deadpool? Everybody, right? So the bouncy house is open. Go ahead and take part in that. We got popcorn for sale over here. Look, I brought some losers with me. These are from Star Trek. These are Spock. That's a stormtrooper. Wait, you didn't come to see me? You came to see those losers? Oh my God. Do you have batteries over here? Sorry. You came to see me! Go! Yeah, use the force! Use the force! Optimus Prime won! Yeah! What a bunch of losers!
We have a problem.
Oh, we really can't get this mask on him?
Nah, bro, the afro is too big.
You really have to be the Flash?
Yes, it's meant to be. You see the shoes?
Yeah, hair's not making it meant to be, bro.
Okay. Okay, let's get your cape on.
In a few minutes, I'm gonna bring out some more new losers, including Batman. Oh, the bouncy house will be back.
I see Tinkerbell.
That's right. We have 2 Batmans. Where's your mask?
I don't know where it is.
All right, bro, take the costume off. Yeah, take pictures.
You got 2 Batmans? I don't know what's the difference. Let's take a picture with these superheroes, Marvel characters, DC characters.
I'll get one of those lightsabers.
You just have to go and line up, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The Joker is right there.
We got that one on.
All right, we good? Thank you. Thanks.
Hi, Mario.
No problem.
Yeah, there you go.
I need adults who want to win baseball tickets to line up right here. I need the playground clear. Just yeah. First person to get to this stupid-looking duck wins. On your mark. Hold on. Time out. Bro. Back up, please. Thank you. I don't want them getting hurt. Go! This guy won! All right, that really looks, all right.
One hop this time. One. Right foot, 2 stumps. One. Left foot, 2 stumps. One. Slide to the left.
Hey, do your dance, hey, go crazy, hey, get free, hey, let's go, let's get it.
Oh man, the cleanup is gonna be great.
For a blink moment in time, people are aware of what they're feeling every day.
If you're going to restore and sustain a democracy, there must be an informed and engaged citizenry.
I spent 2 years in immigration detention. You know how much they spent to feed me for one whole day?
How much?
75 cents.
Immigrants as a whole, migration as a whole, is associated with lower rates of crime. Immigrants make our communities safer.
What causes climate change, the selling and burning of fossil fuels, benefits most the power elite. And so they have a disincentive to address it, and they have an incentive to deny it.
They're not going to funnel more money into our schools. They're not going to do it unless they have to, right? And the way they have to is by our participation, our organization, us taking accountability for our actions.
jazzes. Hip-hop and jazzes. Hip-hop and jazzes.
If you're afraid, then it's hard to reach that point of creativity if you're afraid. If you're not afraid, if you have the courage, then you dwell in the unknown, and the good things can happen, you know, along with the bad things. So it's like you welcome that.
Music, it will take care of you, 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 take care of you. I mean, I go out to jam sessions, and I play, 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 and I play. Listen, you have to love this thing, man. If you take care of the music, we'll take care of you, 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 take care of you. I mean, I go on to jam sessions and I play regardless of whether I'm getting a check or not, 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 check or not. If you take care of the music, it will take care of you, take care of you, take care of you, take care of you. You have to do this because you love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. If you take care of the music, it will take care of you, 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 take care of you.
I've lived here since 1998. I lived in Fort Greene, Clinton Hill. Back and forth, like 6 different houses in that time period. So I've watched it move and grow and change, and people moving in and out, and things come up, and you know. So it's just, I feel like it's a part of who I am now. Brooklyn already has a very rich musical history, so I feel like I'm a part of that. Marcus Gilmore on the drums. That's Vicente Archer at the bass. Jahi Sundance on the ones and twos. This is my latest single, Better Than I Imagined, which features her and another BRIC Jazz Festival headliner, my sister, Miss Michelle Ndengiocello. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you, BRIC, for having us. Hopefully we'll do this again soon. There you go.
All right, y'all can make noise at my show.
and soul. I've searched my whole life for you, baby. It's deeper than blood, deeper than blood. This is love. I love, 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 love. This is how I love you. This is love. I love, 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 love. This is how I love you. Steer it up, just move your body nice and slow, yeah. Steer it up. Steer it up, just move your body nice and slow, yeah. Steer it up. Wake up, return, balance, align. 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 Ain't never had nothing to make me feel secure. Ain't never had nothing to make me feel for sure that I'm loved. Nobody know nothing, nobody knows for sure what is real or true. Return, balance, align. Wake up, 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 return, balance, align. I think nobody knows for sure what is real or true. Now wake up, return, balance, align. 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 Dream better. Learning to dream better. Learning to dream better. Learning to dream better. Please thank Mark Kelly. Please thank Jack DeBow. Please thank Cole Kamen Green. Please thank Adam Levy. Please thank Justin Hicks. Please thank Chris Bruce. Please thank Jake Sherman. Thank you, Abe. Thank you, Black Gatsby. Thank you, Rashman. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Atticus. Thank you, Solomon.
Introduce this next song because it's very visceral to me. I wrote a song a few years ago that's about a kid that started a movement called Black Lives Matter. I'm from Ferguson, so I feel it very important that I talk about Ferguson. You know, this kid I'm talking about, his name is Mike Brown. And he was killed by law enforcement for no good reason. So I wrote this song to lament him. Dedication to his parents, dedicated to his family, dedicated to all of the parents of the slain people, the Garners, the Ahmaud Arbery's, the Breonna Taylors. I wrote the song, it was called MB Lament, but I had to change the title to When Will It Stop? When will the violence stop? When will the racism stop? I'm playing this song for the first time in a long time. Since then, you know, my family has been, I'm playing this song and I'm gonna dedicate this one to my son. He's still living, but racism is real, and we're gonna fight to tear it down. So when will it stop? When will the bias stop? When will it stop?